Hi, thanks everyone. Now I know we're kind of running a little bit over time and we're going to be eating into lunchtime, and I can see the sausage is being cooked already, so we'll get straight into it. Key thing you need to take out of this slide is I'm independent. So what we do is we go into people's homes and small businesses and we do home energy audits. So what does a home energy audit involve? Well, basically we look at every facet of your energy consumption and usage within your home, what's generating energy, what your options are to generate further energy, your hot water, your heat and cooling, fridges, you name it, pretty much everything. Look in the ceiling space, look in the subfloor, think about insulation, thermal camera inspection, that's what we do. Some of you might have had a scorecard assessment done funded, either through the state government or local councils. Is in 2025, they're bringing in an opportunity for homes to disclose the energy efficiency rating of their homes. So we also do those kind of assessments. So that's due to come in 2025. That's already done in the ACT. If you look at realestate.com and look at a home in the ACT, you'll see it's got a star rating. All of Europe, most states in North America, all of the UK, they already do this, okay? So they're the sort of things that we do. Here today, this is the first thing I ask people when they call our office. What's your motivation? Cost, carbon, comfort, or the scorecard rating, okay? Cost, my bills are really, really high. I don't know why they're so high, what's using power, I'm not understanding. I want to reduce my carbon footprint. Or 3, comfort, my house is freezing cold, stinking hot, I want to do something about it. So that's what we then go and address. Now, where do you use energy in your home? Number 1, understand your energy bills. Am I on a time of use tariff? What are those tariffs? How much am I paying per megajoule of gas? Understand those basic elements. That's the most empowering piece. Most homes that we go into, we have to explain the basic concept of a kilowatt hour of electricity. 1,000 watts used for an hour, that's a kilowatt hour. Most people don't know that. They know what a litre of petrol is, a kilogram of potatoes. They understand that concept, but they don't understand the concept of megajoules and kilowatt hours. So understand those basics. Number 2, shop around, and that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'll take you through that. Why do you want to do that? Because if you haven't shopped around and gotten the best rate, well, guess what? You're paying a loyalty tax. It's as simple as that. So always make sure you shop around. I did a couple of examples. There's one I'll show you, but I did a home just 2 weeks ago over in Newington when we had the Olympics in Sydney. They built the Athletes Village. All those homes were in Newington. It was one of those homes. Normal family, just by changing their electricity retail contract from one, and they're with, I won't mention the brand name, but one of the big retailers. They'd never shopped around. They've been in the home for 10 years. They were paying the highest electricity prices I'd ever seen. Just by changing their electricity retail contract, even to the same supplier or another, was going to save them $6,200 a year, just by making a 5-minute phone call. So that's the importance of doing this. The first thing I do when I go into a home and do an energy audit, my PA's already done a bill comparison for them, and I bring it up, show them, take them through the process, normally show them how to save off their gas and electricity, on average about $700 to $1,000. First thing I do when I go into a home, they love me. Yeah, great, Adam, you've already shown me how to save $700 to $1,000. So it's very important. It's the easiest thing you can do if you want to be saving money, okay? Number 3 is, become energy efficient. And one of the things we're doing is I'll be sitting out there for the rest of the day running little energy efficiency one-on-one. So if anyone's got their bills, or even if you don't have your bill, just come out. We can talk you through what your opportunities are in your home. Number 4, get solar. Number 5 is keep an eye on batteries. So that's kind of our step process. But today, I'm just going to talk you through a couple of basics and then we're going to do a bill comparison. So where do you use energy? Whoops. Hot water is your number 1. Here, climatically, it might be more of the heating cooling, but across most of New South Wales, hot water tends to be slightly higher than heating and cooling. So you've got hot water, that's your obvious and easiest opportunity to tackle if you want to become energy efficient because it's the biggest energy user. Heating and cooling, number 2. Lighting, this is a state government set diagram, talking about standby power. It has come down over the last couple of years. So standby power is like when you leave your TV on standby, the clock in your microwave, the phone charger left plugged in, all of those little things. On average, about 10 to 15% of your total electricity usage is just standby power. By addressing that, 10 to 15% of your consumption just came down. So, but once again, understand it's really about lifestyle choice. How far do you want to go with it? That's something to consider. We'll just jump straight into this. If you want to do a bill comparison, You'll see on the TV, you know, there's that company with the meerkats, you know, compares your market and all of that sort of thing. And there's a few of those different companies around, even ones for larger businesses. So if any of you've got a large business, they'll do a comparison for you. However, most of those companies will only have a certain set of electricity retailers. With the electricity retailers, you can buy your electricity from Ampol, AGL, Origin, name on and on and on. There's I think last count, there was 26 different retailers out there. So there's a lot of competition in that space. It pays to shop around like everything else. This government website has, unlike the Compare the Market guys, they only have that certain subset. This website has everyone. It's a federal government website. It's been around for years. The way it works and its functionality's changed a few times, but this has got every single retail contract for electricity and gas available. So what you do, really quite simple, it will literally, if you have your bill with you when you're at home, it'll literally take you 3-4 minutes to do a comparison. And it's the most accurate way that I've found after doing 8,000 home energy assessments and bill comparisons. So number one, understand your bill. So this is a bill that was kindly donated. It's a local bill. It's from one of the staff at council. I won't mention names. Just remember this number. So this figure down the bottom, 467, that's for a month. I can already see from that it's quite a high energy using home. My bill's about $300 a quarter. Having said that, it is a winter bill. So May to June, during that colder period of the year. The other thing I can see from this is they're on a flat tariff. They're paying one rate for their electricity 24 hours a day. If you've got a digital or a smart meter, you have a choice. You can be on a time of use tariff where you'll pay different rates for different times of the day. If you've got the old meter, sorry, we'll just go back to it. If you've got one of these, you're always on a flat tariff. If you've got one of these meters, you have a choice, flat tariff or time of use tariff. It's up to you. Once again though, if you've got one of these, it doesn't know what time of the day it is, so it's always going to be a flat tariff. So $467, she's paying a flat rate of 35 cents a kilowatt hour, you can see here. And the controlled load, which is the hot water. So it's an electric storage hot water system. It's been switched on once a day. That's why it's called controlled load 1. And it's using, out of their total usage, so the general usage is 900 kilowatt hours. The controlled load is about 261. So yeah, it's about 25% of their total electricity usage is just their hot water. The benefit of having controlled load 1 though, is they're getting a cheaper rate of 21 cents, or basically call it 22 cents. Then you've got your daily supply charge, okay? And then you've got the other bits and bobs that make up the bill. So let's see if we can make that cheaper. So you jump onto that Energy Made Easy website. The first point is we're putting in the postcode. Easy enough, right? Then clicking on, we want to compare electricity. You can do the exact same process for gas, okay? There won't be as many retailers that provide gas, but you'll always find down here, when I did a comparison, I think there was about 7 or 8 that I found. So lots of opportunities for savings there. I'm not moving, I just want a better plan. It's all pretty simple, right? Have you or anyone in this household been living, and this is where it kind of diverges into 2 forks, just for electricity. You basically have a choice of 2 ways of doing it. Option 1, I've been living in my home for more than 1 year. If we select your electricity retailer, then what it would actually do, and I haven't done it for this bill because I thought option 2 is a better way to explain it. What happens is you put in what's called your NMI, your National Meter Identifier number. That's actually on your bill. Punch in that 9-digit number, it will get your metering data from the network companies, pull that data back, and then do a comparison. The benefit is that you've got a whole year's worth of data. So you're not just comparing one bill for different seasons, because you're going to have different seasonal usage in each home, and it's always different. I'm always astounded by how much variation there is in homes just across a year. So if you get that NMI data, and if you've got a digital meter, it's literally getting that 24-hour data and saying, this is your typical usage pattern across the whole year, including the solar export, or if you're charging your EV typically in the evening, grabs all of that data and says, based on that, this is the best electricity retail offer for you. But we're going to do the other way, where we're manually going to enter that data. So AGL, start date, end date, pretty simple. Do you have an off-peak rates on your bill? On this one, no, because it was all that flat tariff. Do you have a smart meter? Not sure. Do you have controlled load? Yes, because it was controlled load 1 on the bill. Do you have solar panels? Tick the box. Terms and conditions. This all making sense to everyone? Yeah, all pretty simple, right? And then the best available offer from their existing retailer was $330. What was their initial number we needed to look at? $467. So just off one monthly bill, $330 or $467, so what's that? $137. Who's good at maths? Times that by 12. You know, you're talking $1,500 a year just by doing this comparison and making a quick phone call. Okay? So you can do the exact same thing for gas, and I won't name names, but I did it for this particular household. It was $1,000 for a month that they could be saving just off their gas bill. But it was the winter period where they were using a lot of gas heating. So that's easily $2,500 worth of savings just by doing a bill comparison and changing your electricity retailer. When you change your electricity retailer, all you need to do is just call the new retailer, okay? They will do everything else. Make one phone call, I'll take you through the terms and conditions, and away you go. The other things you want to consider is why do you want to shop around? These are the big 3 retailers, AGL, Origin, Energy Australia, and the survey that Fairfax Media did years ago. And the difference between the dark blue and the red is basically what each one of those individual companies, what they call their standing offer was at any given time, and their best available. So even if you call your existing retailer, you still would have saved. Okay? The other thing you might notice on some of your bills now, they only have to do this every 100 days, is your electricity retailer, say you're with Origin or Energy Australia, whoever you're with, they will actually put on the front of your bill, most people don't even notice it though, because it's just a little blue or green blob of text. It says, we've actually got a better deal for you. Most of the time, I go through this process and then I show the people on their bill and I go, oh, I didn't even notice it. So they're required to do that every 100 days of the billing cycle. Most billing cycles are 90 days quarterly, so they only have to do it to you every second bill. Unless you shop around, you will be paying that loyalty tax. The other thing they've asked me to speak about today is solar. Is solar going to be right for you? There's this great tool owned by the Australian Photovoltaic Institute, which is part of the University of New South Wales. These guys are the leaders in photovoltaic technology development, have been for years. They're brilliant. Great little tool called SunSpot. It's available to you. So I'm just going to go through quickly a bit of a slideshow on just how it works. It's much easier to show it in real time, and I'm happy to do that with you outside. So the idea is you can actually map your roof, put in your billing data, and it'll figure out all the economics. It'll figure out your payback periods. You can add batteries. It does the whole thing for you, and it's all there, free to use. So the first thing, and this is a mate's place down the road in Burradoo, and it takes you through a whole bunch of questions. What type of hot water system have you got? How many bedrooms are heated, etc. Because it's trying to get an understanding of the typical energy usage in your home. Okay, so I'm saying they use 25 kilowatt hours a day. Basically goes through all that series of questions, then goes, right, well, based on that information, we estimate that this is the sort of size of solar system that you could put in, and this is the estimated cost for that installation. Okay, the other great thing it does is you can then start to map your roof and play around with where you're going to put panels and look at where are the best places to put panels. Now they've used what's called LiDAR technology, so it's basically 3D mapping technology. So they know how big the trees are, how far away they are, how tall they are, and what sort of a shade profile they're going to cast across the house at different times of the year. The blue is the places with the least solar radiation. The red is the areas with really good solar radiation. Above their garage roof, fantastic. You can then go along and draw in the solar panels. Add a panel, put some here, add them there, and you can start to build your solar panel and see what sort of a payback time you'll actually get out of those. You can then even add a battery. You can add different sizes of batteries, All of that technology is there. As I said, you can put in all your metering data, your billing tariffs, and it'll give you all the data on your payback period. So this is another thing that we do for every single home that we go through. It'll give you a whole bunch of results, your payback period, solar with battery, solar without a battery, your savings, your typical generation costs, all of the data's in there. So the other thing they've asked me to talk about is resources. There's probably an overwhelming majority, but what I continually do every 3 months, I sit down and look at all the different resources that are available, what I think is going to be most relevant, most useful to my clients, even looking at different ethnicity bases these days. So the best resources that I've found is the Clean Energy Council's Solar Purchasing Guide, if you're thinking of going with solar. They've even got a little option in there on their website to say, find an approved retailer. So the Clean Energy Council is kind of the peak body for solar installers. Then you've got the SunSpot tool. In heating and cooling, there's a really good rebate guide to upgrade your air conditioner. There's Ausgrid's winter heating guide and a summer cooling guide. Hot water, there's a general hot water guide from the Your Home tool. There's a really good opportunity to upgrade your hot water system to heat pumps through the New South Wales government. You can pretty much do it if it's electric or gas storage. Be careful of the quality of the product you're getting though. Cooking, there's an induction cooking guide. And then there's a whole bunch of rebates. So low income, gas, family energy. So all of these different rebates are all available.